Hey guys, it's Trapper Tony here today. We got a call from a customer who's experiencing noises in the wall, food going missing, and scurrying in the basement. Now, rats are very smart, suspicious, and very destructive. I'm going to show you how I locate them, their nesting areas, how I trick them, and keep them out for good. We've started our interior inspection for rats and rat entry points in the garage here. Rats are typically ground dwellers, which would affect your first floor and basement typically, but they will also utilize and migrate any space available to them, looking for food, water, and shelter. Here we have a clear indication that rats have chewed away the weather stripping from the garage door seal and gained access right into the garage. You can see their droppings as they make their way across this pathway. I'm gonna take you to the other side of the garage door where they've chewed the weather stripping as well, but they've also got right into the framing of the home, chewing away at a 2x4. You can see the power the rats have with their teeth as they chew and gnaw through almost any material, gaining access right inside the garage. As I was making my way towards the interior of the home from the garage, I started to see a little bit of more rodent rat activity in particular. Here we have some chewing, some damage, some droppings, and the corner of this substair, damage to the carpet and wood itself. As I pull back the substair, I've revealed multiple droppings, a little bit of a food cache. There's some wrappers, orange peels, even a peach pit, and again, more droppings. Rodents will utilize droppings and urine as a form of communication, which will entice them to use this pathway as a travel or entry point into the home. We've made our way to the kitchen, which can act like a diner or a buffet for all rodents, not just rats. They're looking for food, water, and shelter, and the kitchen can actually offer all three aspects of that. There'll be oil splashes, food crumbs and debris, even water lines that can be manipulated by the rats themselves as they chew through the lines, creating floods and damages, accessing water. If we make our way beside the fridge, something has been luring them back there, as well as they've chewed this plastic here along the fridge line. Look at all this debris and destruction from the rats. We'll make our way around the corner here, some more debris and fresh rat droppings. We know we're in the right location. It's critical as a homeowner or tenant to keep your kitchen as clean as possible. Rats and rodents will manipulate these areas looking for food and water especially. Here we can see there's rodent activity, there's droppings underneath the sink, and even stagnant water in the sink itself will lure rats and rodents looking for a water source. We'll make our way over to the fridge here. Let's take a look behind this fridge to see what's luring these rats back there. Why did they create all this damage and destruction? Is it food sources? Is it a water line associated to the fridge? Let's pull this fridge back to reveal what's driving these rodents back there, creating that path of destruction. And wow, would you look at that? A food cache, a buffet for all rodents to feed on. Now this could be in combination of a rat cache, storing food back here, or food and crumbs slipping through the cracks and crevices, creating a great food source for these rodents. Now rodents will also be driven back here due to the warm nature of the compressor built right into the fridge itself. This water line can be easily manipulated by rats as they'll chew through it, gaining access to water. But look how much debris is back here. As I mentioned, it's a food buffet for them. Chicken bones, peanuts, shells, even a sucker. We've made our way to the basement and we're in the furnace room. Right where the furnace is, it's warm, it's dark, it's perfect environment for rodents to thrive. If you take a look back here, you'll see droppings on the floor and a disturbance in the insulation. Making our way towards the sink, we'll notice an improper seal and constant water dripping, allowing for an easy water source for these rodents. Let's make our way from the furnace room into the crawl space where we found a major discovery. Now, it may just look like a pile of garbage to you, but this is the perfect environment for rodents to thrive. They'll breed and multiply. Here you can see some torn up insulation, which they'll use as nesting material, a chewed up juice box to drink from, Ferrero Rocher wrappers, and even some bubble gum. And look at there, a bar of soap. Making our way up this wall, we'll see exactly where they're manipulating the insulation and nesting beside this warm air duct. We've found the trinity for rodents in this home. We have food debris and buffet in the kitchen, heat and water sources in the furnace room, and breeding and nesting material in the crawl space itself, creating the perfect ecosystem for these rodents to thrive. Hey guys, it's phase 2, the plan of attack. Now that we've completed our interior inspection, we've located their food sources, their nesting locations, and source of warmth or shelter. We are going to be using a combination of snap traps and glue boards. Now, rats have neophobia, which is a fear of new things. We can't just go in there like gangbusters, placing snap traps and glue boards everywhere. We have to be surgical with our approach. We know where they're going, we know the travel paths they're taking, and what's driving them to these locations. We're gonna set our snap traps with actually the food that they're consuming currently. We're gonna go over to the buffet in the kitchen here. We know they like the Ferrero Rochers. There's a little bit left in here, and we'll utilize this as part of our bait source. Here we have the classic Jaws and T-Rex snap traps. These are great traps. If we do have a successful capture, it's easy disposal of the rat or rodent, hands-free basically. Inside the trap itself, there's a bait tray. Place whatever bait you want of your choosing. Here we'll use the Ferrero Rocher, and we're gonna use peanut butter as well. It's critical that we don't overbait or over place rat snap traps. They're very smart, very curious. They're afraid of new things. They have to be adjusted to them. So if we strategically place them, we'll have a higher success of capture. Securing the back of the snap trap, I'm able to hold it open to prevent early deployment. I'll take my bait, place it in the bait tray, and now my trap is set. I'll do the same for the others. And this glue board is actually peanut butter scented. So once I peel back the sticky surface protection layer, we'll place this glue board in high traffic areas where we know these rodents are traveling in, along pipes, stanchions, anywhere there's an opening in the wall. This one I want to place in the garage, right where that main entry point is, and we'll place that along the route of travel. They'll smell that peanut butter, get caught right on the glue board itself. So let me load up these other snap traps and we'll get them placed in strategic locations. Again, we're placing a secondary trap in the crawl space. Now this is more of a rectangular shaped area of the home. Rodents like to travel along perimeters as a security measure. They can stick close to the wall, scurry into little areas or openings, avoiding predators or prey. We know that they've been eating the Nutella chocolate in multiple locations of this home, so we have that as our food option for this location. The spot along the perimeter here. Again, we have our secondary trap placed, not too close to the nesting area. We're back in the furnace room to place our third trap. Again, it's peanut butter. We're placing it along the heat source, the furnace itself, right next to the droppings. We know there's activity there. Again, rodents will communicate through fresh urine and droppings. If you look past the furnace, there's manipulation of the insulation, offering that nesting material. So we know they're active in this location. We'll place our third trap right here. We're back upstairs on the main floor where our main entry point has been established. Again, there's clear indicators from the damage itself, the rub marks from the oil from their skin and fur there, and the debris from the interior insulation. So we're gonna clean up our space here. Peel back our protective layer on the glue board itself. And we'll place this right up tight against the perimeter of the baseboard there. As rodents come through from the garage entry point, they have no choice but to land on the sticky, tacky surface, getting caught on the glue board for easy disposal. You guys remember our interior inspection of the garage, all the damage, the chewing, the droppings, heavy rodent activity in there. We are going to be placing our secondary glue board out there close to an entry point or route of travel. We're back out in the garage where one of our main entry points has been established. They've chewed away the weather stripping on the base of the garage door itself and chewed away at the wooden structure beside. You can clearly see there's multiple rodent droppings, rat droppings specifically in this area. So we know it's a part of their travel system. We're gonna clear off this area a little bit here. Again, rodents will always travel along perimeters for safety and security. So this placement is going to cover both aspects and both sides of that perimeter structure. Our board is placed. If we do have an entry or movement along the perimeter, they'll get caught on this tacky surface here. We can take them away for easy disposal. It's been about 24 hours, so we're gonna go downstairs, take a look at our snap traps, visually check our glue boards, see what kind of action we have. If we need to move anything, rebait anything, we can do that now while we're here. This is the first step in our first follow-up. Let's take a look in the garage, that big rat glue board that we placed, see what's going on. Well, we didn't catch anything here, but let's not get discouraged. We still have multiple traps to check. It was very, very cold last night. Maybe these rodents decided to stay in, stay warm, just like we did. Let's check the rat glue board we placed in the living room with the shared wall to the garage. Now we know the main entry point to the garage and then the main entry point into the home itself is with this shared wall. So let's go take a look. Well, we don't have any movement here, which makes sense. We didn't have any movement in the garage. Again, super cold last night. We don't have anything captured here, but let's go check out the basement. A quick visual here in the basement with another snap trap reveals we don't have anything captured as well. Rats have neophobia. They're very nervous of new things. They have to get accustomed to the new thing in place, get warmed up to the idea of it being there, curious enough to feed off the bait, and then snapped in the snap trap. Let's go check out the crawl space. We're back inside the crawl space, and I can already see we've got a nice healthy rat in the snap trap. Let's go check him out. Boom. We got him. This appears to be a nice, healthy male, most likely out on patrol around the perimeter of this nesting location in the crawl space. One down. Let's make our way to the HVAC system where they're running along the surface here to our secondary trap. All right, success. An additional rodent rat as well. We're gonna get these rodents removed, reset our traps. We know this is a high traffic area. We're not gonna move or migrate anything too much. Here's what we've got captured today in less than 24 hours. 2 healthy rats. Look at the size of these rats and look how big their heads are and body width. That's why they have to make such destructive holes and entry points due to the size of their bodies. Look at those teeth. Very powerful, very destructive teeth. These rats will be nervous of new things in place, so we'll reset, come back and check in 24 hours. Hey guys, it's our second follow-up here at our infested home with rats. We're gonna be checking all of our glue boards, snap traps, all the droppings we already know are in place to see if there's any new or fresh activity. If there's nothing on the monitor boards or the snap traps or any new droppings, we're gonna move into our exclusion phase and sanitation phase and look at long-term prevention for this property. The garage is where we're gonna start our second follow-up inspection. We're off to a great start here. We've checked our glue board monitor right beside this huge entry point for rodents. It's so big, if I turn my flashlight off, you can actually see the light penetration coming from the exterior, a clear indicator where rodents can easily move or migrate. They will feel the temperature difference between the garage and the exterior. As they make their way around the perimeter, they'll feel that heat escaping, luring them right inside. So great start, nothing on our monitor board here. We also have no new droppings around the perimeter. Remember that great big hole the rats chewed in this adjoining wall to the garage? We placed a glue board right underneath that entry point, so let's go take a look. As you can see, there's been no movement. We don't have any tracks, debris, any droppings, no physical rodents themselves. Again, we're off to a great start here. Let's go check the snap traps we have in the crawl space and basement. We're back in the furnace room where we had set our first snap trap. And again here, you see the debris and the movement from the rats. The original droppings are still in place. We don't have any movement and nothing caught on the snap trap itself. So we're back in the crawl space here. We're gonna check our remaining 2 snap traps. If we don't have any captures, we'll move into our sanitation and exclusion phase of this project. So we'll take a look up here on the HVAC system, that little highway they had. And again, we don't have any captures. Let's check our perimeter snap trap. And again, we don't have any captures here. This is excellent news. We're gonna move into our cleanup, sanitation, and exclusion phase. We're gonna show you how we safely remove droppings and clean them up, and how we would exclude and keep these rats out for good and offer long-term prevention for this home. So we're back in the furnace room. We're about to start our cleanup and sanitation phase of this project. I just wanna give you a walkthrough of what we're using, what kind of tools we're using, what we're applying, and how we are gonna do the service. We have garbage bags for any large debris that we can't actually vacuum up. We'll utilize the dustpan and broom for that process as well. We have a spray tank here for our topical sanitizer. This will be applied before we do any small debris removal, any droppings, food sources, that sort of thing. We have our vacuum. It's a high-powered vacuum with a HEPA filter. This prevents us from spreading any spores, bacteria, anything that we don't want to have into the air itself. Secondary precautions are PPE. We're wearing Tyvek suits, latex gloves, and I'll be wearing my mask as well. So let's get started on the cleaning and sanitation process here. We're gonna focus on sealing entry points. Now this entry point was behind the couch. It's against the attached wall to the garage. We know where they're coming in from. We're first gonna start by stuffing that area with steel wool. Now steel wool is made up of shredded bits of metal. It's something that rodents typically don't like. If they try to chew or gnaw at it, it kind of cuts their tongue, deters them from utilizing that space. After we pack the hole with the steel wool, we'll then top it off with the spray foam, just an added layer of protection here, and make sure we don't have any airflow movement or anything like that from this exterior wall. Finally, we're focusing on the exterior defense.
We will be installing these tier 1 tamper-proof bait stations. There's a commercial grade chemical inside. It's all under lock and key. There's no access to any people or pets, just the rodents themselves. These are great exterior stations as your first line of defense. The holes on the entry points here are great for both mice and rats. With our main entry point isolated to the garage, we're gonna get these tier 1 bait stations around the perimeter here. We'll place one here, and we'll make our way to the other side of the garage, installing our secondary option here. We'll check these in a few days to see if we have any new activity or not. Okay guys, so we have the house clean, the areas have all been sanitized, we've removed any dead rodents, droppings, nesting material, we've sealed entry points for exclusion, and we have our prevention in place. That's how you handle a rat infestation the right way. Again, as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our channel.